So it's been a while. Anyways, I'm starting this video because I know I might have to add on to this tomorrow. I just finished going over my roots with black. They were kind of an ashy blonde brown color, and that's almost the color of my natural hair, so I didn't really like the way it looked. So it's a really nice burgundy color, and I went and did my roots black. I already know I've missed a couple of spots, so tomorrow or in a couple of days I may go back over whatever spot I missed, and I might have to add on to that. But yeah, I got my hair done, and I may have fed a new addiction by coloring the roots myself. So as an add-on to the video I made last night, my hair turned out pretty good. I like it a lot better with the black roots. Yeah, I still have some staining on my hairline, a little bit on my cheek and right beside my eye, but all good, I like it. So this is my question and answer video. It is actually my horse account, the Tranquil Trio, and my main account, Milso Thing, added together. So there's going to be some questions that you probably didn't see asked, and then I'm sorry, but I'm going to try not to do questions that are too personal and too, I guess, sexualized, considering my main account has pretty decently revealing pictures of me, and a lot of the followers are actually men. So I'm going to try to keep this decently clean. So I got asked, when did you start writing, and how many years have you been writing? I started writing lessons-ish when I was like 5, and I basically rode like Western Pleasure where I was. Every now and again they would put us in an English saddle and everything like that. I don't really remember much of that time, but I was around 5-ish or 6-ish, so I've been riding for almost 15, that doesn't sound right, hold on, 5? Holy shit, I've almost been riding for 15 years. What's your fastest time? Well, barrel patterns are like always a bunch of different sizes. At Magnolia Arena, the average time winning it, I don't really know recently, but when I was up there it would normally kind of be between like a 15.5 and a 15.7, and my fastest time in that arena surprisingly was on Hagen and was a 16.2, and I think a 15.3 or 15.5, something like that, was winning it that day. And then at this little place that I used to run called Suburban, it the record there was a 16.2 for our age class. I don't really know how big it is. Some people say it's standard, some people say it's just a little bit smaller than standard. I would say it's smaller than standard. If Paco could run a 17.4-ish, 17.4 or something there, I would say it's smaller than standard, because Paco, I don't ever think she honestly went on a standard pattern, but I just don't think she could run a 17.4 on a standard. And then Waco Elite in the summer, I'm not sure how big their pattern is, but our fastest time was Hagen's. Paco ran once there. She had no idea when her run was coming. She was actually really awkward going to the arena. It felt like she was so confused and lost when I started asking her to run, and we ran a 17.1. Me and Hagen were there for, I want to say, like 4 or 5 days, and so he knew that the alleyway was kind of strange in the way the alleyway was, and his fastest time there was a 16.5. Better than I expected, especially since there were 600 riders a day, and you know, we were in the 40s, so I think we did decent for baby Hagen. How many horses have you owned? Okay, so roughly, I may be forgetting some. I really have no idea. I don't think I am. I have owned around 12 horses. I have had Sonidor, who was my first horse, which, yes, I named from the movie Dreamer because I thought it was an awesome name. She was a bay thoroughbred off the track mare. Very accidental, always hurt herself, and she ended up breaking her shoulder one day, and a vet would not come out for an emergency visit, and at the time I was only 12, and I refused to let my uncle shoot her to put her down, and so she ended up laying down and I went to school. I didn't go to school the next day. My mom took me out shopping, and I was not allowed to go out and see Sonia. And when I got back home, you know, they had just finishing burying her. So I don't remember if my uncle went ahead and shot her to put her out of her misery in the first place, or if she just died because she could not stand anymore. But, so that was my first horse. And then we had Paco, which is the sorrel mare I still have now, Blaze, which was Paco's first baby when we bought her because she was pregnant. We had Grace, a mule, Airy, a solid paint mare, Veyron, which was Airy's baby. We had no idea she was bred when we bought her. Whiskey, a little paint gelding. He was an awesome little guy. Chief, a paint stud, which was Gunner's dad. Chance, a rescued abuse case horse kind of thing. We bought him for like $30. Brandy, we bought her, and the seller was a huge liar and found out that she had stage 4 navicular and she was never going to be anything I needed, and sold her. Xerox, a spotted saddle horse gelding. Gunner, Paco's baby, Chief's baby, and now Hagen. Have you ever thought of doing any English disciplines? Fun fact, I actually rode English a lot when I first started riding horses, and I have 2 English saddles that I used to jump around in for fun. I would take Paco to little, like, local shows and jump her. She was good, except she was scared of anything green. If it was a green jump, she was not going over it. She was saying, "Nope, we're refusing, Mom. I hope you stay on." I stayed on. And I actually took lessons with a lady for a while at a jumping barn, and I really think she overestimated my ability. She also, I think, was kind of unaware of the horses she was putting me on. She put me on a gelding one time that had not been rode in over a year, and I did not have a lot of faith in myself for the stuff she was asking me to do, and I really think she overestimated what I could do. And so I was doing hops, which I don't know if most of y'all know, but it's where you set up they're just tiny little things your horse just hops over, and they're not even a stride apart. It really just gives you time to land, maybe one stride, and then you go off again, and there's like 4 or 5 of them in a row. And I was doing hops with no reins and no stirrups, and the horse bolted off with me, and I slid off onto the side and tried holding on and pulling myself back on, and then he ducked really quickly, and I flipped over the front of his chest, kind of like around the front, and hit my back on the fence, like to her arena, which is like welded together. Why can't I think of the word? Like welded together metal, just a big metal fence, pipe. Yeah, a pipe fence, there we go. And I can tell you now that hurt like crazy. If you could choose one event out of any discipline, what would it be other than barrels? I have always had this like insane love and want to try cross country. I don't know, it just seems so exhilarating. Like you still have that speed, but you need to learn how to pace your horse right so your horse doesn't get exhausted over this course and still having to jump. And not only that, but there's a danger to it that everything you jump doesn't have the ability to give. And I love the idea of jumping into the water and jumping out and running through the water. As in show jumping, you can't touch the water. So cross country, really, like, I would love to do cross country. What's your favorite thing about being married? Oh God. Definitely, I have a really hard time sleeping at night. Like, I do not go to sleep that easy, and I don't stay asleep. It's a huge problem for me. My favorite thing is being able to turn over at night and see Dominic sleeping next to me and just kind of feel so relaxed and so comforted that, you know, he's there with me. Like, it's the best thing in the world. Just look over at like 3 in the morning when you can't sleep and see that adorable, peaceful face right there next to you, and you're like, yeah, that's mine. I love him. He's great. He's perfect. And you just feel so happy, and you can't help but smile, and it's adorable. Oh my goodness. My beautiful friend, you know who you are because you asked me this question. I love you. You're gorgeous. You are an amazing horsewoman. You're super smart. And just to put it out there again, you're gorgeous. I got asked what are 5 things you miss doing with Lex, which people from my horse channel aren't going to know who Lex is. Lex is one of my friends back in Texas. I used to hang out with all the time. Her Instagram name is Texas Thing with an underscore at the end of it. Oh my god. I miss going over there for her awesome little parties. Like, they were so fun. I miss dancing with her. Going dancing with her was like the bomb. Riding four-wheelers was awesome. I miss that. We rode horses a few times together. That was fun too. But in general, I really miss just like hanging out with her because now like I can't go over there when I need her and she can't come to me when she needs me. And it really sucks being apart from her. So I really just miss hanging out with her and talking and ranting and having fun and taking our minds off things. So since this video is already 11 minutes long, I'm gonna cut this one off here, and if I get more questions, I'll make another video. And plus, I just kind of want to take my makeup off and take a nap, and yeah, so any more questions will be in another video. Alright.